Hi guys, this is Connie, back for more Connie Reads The River. We are on chapter 24. And after this, I think there's like a little thing on measurements, and we'll read some of the extra things that are there for the last installment. But here we go, chapter 24. Suddenly he was paddling. His eyes were open, and he was kneeling in back of Derek, and he was leaning forward with the paddle, and he did not have the slightest idea of how he'd come to be there. He had a new paddle in his hands, carved roughly from a forked branch, with a piece of Derek's pant leg pulled across the fork to form the face of the paddle. Brian was moving the raft, and the sun was shining down on him, and it was everything completely new to him. A different world. I must have slept, then moved in my sleep. The briefcase was gone, torn off in the rapids, and with it the map. Not that it mattered. The banks were just all green, and the river went ahead to the next bend. The trees hung over the top, and there was nothing to see but a slot of sky, and the water ahead, and the endless, endless green. Nothing to match with a map. He could no longer think anyway. He had no idea how far they had come, how many hours or days they had been traveling, or how far it still was to the trading post. He could only pull now, only pull with the paddle. He knew absolutely nothing, except the raft and the paddle and his hands, which had gone beyond bleeding now, and were sores that stuck to the shaft of the crude paddle. Knew nothing but the need, the numbing, crushing need to get Derek somewhere down the river. Food, hunger, home, distance, sleep, the agony of his body, none of it mattered anymore. Only the reach. The bend forward at the waist, the pull back with the arms, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. 2 left, 2 right. 2. Into that long day and that long night he moved the raft. So beyond thought now that even the hallucinations didn't come. Nothing was there but the front of the raft, Derek, and the river. The river. Sometime in the morning on the next day, any day, 1,000 days or 8 days, he could not tell. Somewhere in that morning, the river widened and made a sweeping curve to the left. Widened to half a mile or more. And he saw, or thought he could see, a building roof. A straight line in the trees that did not look natural, and then he heard it. The sound of a dog barking. Not a wolf or coyote, but a dog. There was a small dock. People had dogs that barked, and they had docks. He kept pulling, still not able to think or do anything but stroke, pulled to the edge of the river until the raft nudged against the dock, bounced, and then the paddle dropped. He was done. Above him on the bank he saw a small brown and white dog barking at him, its tail jerking with each bark, the hair of its back raised. As Brian watched, the round face of a young boy appeared next to the dog. "Help! Help me," Brian thought he said, but heard no sound. The face of the boy disappeared, and in moments 2 more people came, a man and a woman, and they ran down to the dock and looked down at Brian, and he was crying up at them, his torn hands hanging at his sides down in the river. The river. Derek. Hands took him then. Hands pulled him onto the dock, and the man jumped in the water and untied Derek and took him as well. Hands. Strong hands to help. It was over. And that's the end of chapter 24. Ah! Goodness gracious. Alrighty, well, be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you, and I will see you for, I guess, an outro for this this segment of Connie Reads. Be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you. I will see you again. If I've already said that before, I'm sorry. Pregnancy brain is a thing.